While visiting Plymouth, we walked part of the Hoe Trail, which should not be confused with the Mayflower Trail, which starts in this area as well. The Hoe Trail begins just south of the Mayflower Steps and takes you past the Royal Citadel, Smeaton's Tower, and much more. The Mayflower Trail starts at the Mayflower Steps and takes you away from the harbor, up into town. We only walked part of the Hoe Trail, so we just saw a few of the landmarks. The trail covers a pretty large area above the harbor. The Barbican in Sutton Harbor is a fascinating area to explore. There is quite a lot to see, including the Mayflower Museum and Mayflower Steps, as well as some interesting shops and the lock between the Sound and the harbor. We also didn't do the walk in its proper order. We started at 1 and then sort of went backwards from what the map shows. That's because we really only set out to get a good look at Smeaton's Tower. We weren't planning to walk the whole trail. These acorns are markers for yet another trail. The 630-mile-long Southwest Coast Path passes through Plymouth and runs along this road for a ways. The 17th century citadel rises high above the harbor.
Hi, we're Jeff and Sandra, American expats and nomads, living abroad, on a budget, one country at a time.
The landmarks along the Hoe Trail are well marked with historical information. Plymouth is an important port from a defensive standpoint, so there are many former military emplacements along the harbor road, dating back even prior to the citadel's construction. Mountbatten Tower isn't quite as impressive from this side of the water. Madeira Road, the path of the Hoe Trail from its origin at Sutton Harbor up towards Smeaton's Tower, is a steady climb along the edge of Plymouth Sound. This monument proclaims to celebrate 200 years of peace between the UK and France, and includes stones from Dartmoor Prison as well as from the house where Napoleon died. The walk up the hill along Madeira Road allows you to see quite a lot that would be missed from a car or coach. When we return to Plymouth next, we'll follow this trail in numerical order, so this section is on the way back down towards the coffee and donuts at the Barbican. And we'll make a proper day of it. There are a number of things along the trail, landmarks and not, that are worth looking at. For example, this 1935 Art Deco pool, the Tinside Lido, probably bears further exploring. Plus, as I mentioned, the Hoe Trail covers an enormous area which we saw less than half of on this field trip. Smeaton's Tower is a primary landmark and tourist destination for this area. The lighthouse has a pretty interesting history. Sadly for us, they were setting up for a festival or concert of some sort, so a lot of the area was fenced off. It's not all military history. Science is represented here as well. The Royal Marines Memorial is quite impressive. The Citadel has some very cool architectural features, and we do love some architecture. There's a lot to see along the route of the trail. We spent a couple of hours on this walk and only saw well under half of it. The Commandos Memorial stands outside one of the ornate entrances to the Citadel. Tours of the Citadel can be arranged but require 24 hours advance notice. Our next trip to Plymouth will definitely include this.
Royal Army something or other.
Say the coolest building I've ever worked in is the Montgomery Park building. So,
I bought a lot of candy in the Montgomery Park building when it was Montgomery Ward back in the 70s.
Yeah?
Yeah. They had the best.
Heading back towards the harbor is just regular stuff you see in English towns.
I don't know if we can get there from here.
I see some sort of railing.
So of course there's bits of a medieval castle. This memorial wall is very thought-provoking. We ended up back where we started and then headed across the loch towards our bus stop for the ride back out to where we were staying in Plymouth. The aquarium looks fairly impressive, but we didn't get down here to see it. Always remember not to forget to look down and around as you're exploring.
Hi, we're Jeff and Sandra, American expats and nomads, living abroad, on a budget, one country at a time.